Hi everyone, today's lesson is lesson 7, identifying the properties of a rectangle, identifying and measuring the length and width of a rectangle. So this is a rectangle. How many sides does a rectangle have? If you look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Okay, if you notice about these sides, all the sides are straight sides. Okay, and we also have these corners. These corners are called angles. And a rectangle has 4 angles. Now these angles are special angles. They are called right angles. Because a right angle looks like a corner of your paper. Okay, so a rectangle has 4 sides and 4 right angles. Okay. All right, so let's measure the length of the sides on this rectangle. Now, the longer side is what we call the length. And just length sounds like long, so it makes it a little bit easier to remember. Okay. So, if we want to measure the length, I'll take my ruler and bring it up. And we can see that the length of my rectangle is 5 inches. And the abbreviation for inches is IN. Okay. You can also write it as a 5 with these little 2 marks at the top. The 2 marks is the inch symbol. And it just makes it a little bit shorter to write. Either way is fine. Now, we also need to measure the width. And the width is the shorter end of the rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to spin it so I can measure the width of my rectangle. And if we look, my width is pointing to the 3 inches. So my width is 3 inches. So the width equals 3 inches. Okay. So what do you think the other sides of the rectangle are? Let's go ahead and measure this left side, the left side. And look, the left side is also 3 inches. Okay, what about the top? The top, there we go. The top is also equal to 5 inches. So on a rectangle, the 2 longest sides, or the 2 lengths, are the same, and the 2 widths are the same. So we have 4 sides, and then we know that the opposite sides are the same. Okay, that's what we've learned so far. Okay, let's look at another rectangle. This one is tilted, but it's still a rectangle. So let's label the length and the width. So the length is the longer side, so that's going to be the length here. And the width is the shorter side. So let's measure the length of this rectangle. Okay, so the length of this rectangle is 3 inches. So let's measure the width. The width of this rectangle, it's a little bit hard to get, is right, should be about, let's see, it's a little difficult to get. All right, the width of the rectangle is about 2 inches. Oops, it's hard to get it correct, but let's say the width is about 2 inches. Okay. So the length is 3 inches and the width is 2 inches. So that means that this side would also be 2 inches and the top would be 3 inches. Okay, what about this rectangle? On this rectangle, my length is on the side this time because the length is the longer side. And the width is at the top and the bottom. So the width of my rectangle is 1 inch. which means the top would also be 1 inch. My length is at 4 inches. Okay, so my length equals 4 inches for both sides. Okay, and that's it for this lesson. Good luck on your homework.